Yay Networks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Real Talk Young podcast. I am so excited. So y'all know that I've been bringing some guests on, but y'all all kind of knew who they were because we were just putting our feet in the water. But I have an incredible guest for us today. Y'all know how I always say I'm going to start a dating app because I think I'm next to Jesus at putting y'all together. But I have a great guy that I watch often. I found him on social media, and he's going to be a guest on today. And you're going to get your notebook. You want to get your RTK journal out, your podcast journal, so that you can write notes. I believe that this is a season where God is bringing you your spouse. And I also believe this is a season where God is healing relationships. God is in the restoration business, and it is never too late for God to resurrect something. And so we're going to get into it today. I want to welcome you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being a part of my life this whole year. Thank you for sharing this podcast every single week. I love me some you. What I need you to do right now before we get into this podcast, wherever you're watching this podcast at, I need you to push that subscribe button right where you are, because y'all, I'm going to tell you something. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. There are voices that God has put in your life that the enemy does not want you to hear, that were sent into your life to help you get out of that pit and walk in your victory. When you push that subscribe button, it lets you know every single time I upload a new podcast or even a preaching YouTube. So right now, push that subscribe and share this. Share this with somebody. You may have the greatest relationship, or your life may be beautiful. You may be living the Amos 9:13 victorious life, but there's somebody that looks like they got it together that don't. And you simply sharing it on your news feed is you helping them. That's all you got to do. We've got social media, which is where God uses social media to help us make heaven more crowded and give people hope. That's what all of us are, hope dealers. So today, welcome, push that subscribe button, share this with somebody, and really quickly, here's what I want to do. I want to introduce you to Ken. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so thankful you are here.
All this pink. I love it. I mean,
I love
you're
pink.
so vibrant, and
I love pink.
my wife introduced me to you.
Oh.
And you know what?
That blesses me.
It did. I'm a fan.
So thankful.
She was like, she knows you? I'm
like, yeah. Isn't that funny what social media will do? Social media, man, it'll make you think people are your best friends.
I know.
I saw you at Stormy Wellington's event.
Yes.
And I was like, that's my boy. I ain't never met you a day in my life. But I felt like I knew you.
We were kindred spirits.
Yeah, we are.
And so thank you for having me. And I'm ready. I'm ready to empower your people.
We're going to get into it.
You know, so I'm the first person that you didn't know.
So he is the first person that I didn't know. Like all the other people I've got history with. And so I love a man of God. I love a man just in general that, man, you just get to the soul. You ain't just talking at women.
Nope.
You're not just talking at men.
Nope.
You just seem balanced.
I am good. Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you for noticing that.
Yes.
Because I got a lot of followers who, you know, when I say something about men leveling up, yeah. And then as soon as I say women need to level up too, no, coach, I disagree with that. I don't. Because at the end of the day, I think we all, there's a part of us that says, you know what? We all have to be better. We all have to willing to be better, because listen, you will not attract what you want.
Yeah.
You will attract who you are.
Yes.
All right. And so I'll often say, are you the type of person that can have the type of person that you want?
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You got that whole list and ain't nothing on it.
And nothing on. And then,
that was me.
Right. But Kim, you got the whole list. But when I ask you, are you good with money? You want somebody good with money?
Yeah.
Are you attempting to be good with money? Nope. Okay, you want somebody physically fit? Are you attempting?
Yeah.
Nope. And so we want to hold people to a higher standard than we hold ourselves to.
Yeah. And so we're going to get into it today. And I really think that y'all need to right now, I mean, go tell your friends, like record this, make sure you know where we're at so you can get all the girls over and you can have a whole girl night where y'all just sit and chat, because I know, listen to me, Ken, I know that God is putting husbands and wives together in this season. I know without a doubt, God loves relationship. One will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000. So y'all, we're going to send this to a break and then we're going to come right back, and me and Ken, he is a certified coach. He's also even a counselor type deal on a reality show. He just, he's just great. And I'm so thankful that I get to introduce you to him today. So go get your pad, go get your paper, go get your popcorn, and we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, welcome back. I love in our little break right there, we were just talking about how you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be anointed. You have to use your mess as a message. And, I think the reason that I love people that talk about relationships is because I didn't always do them right.
Okay.
Like, I was raised in a religion that said you get divorced, you're going to hell on a slip and slide.
Right.
I literally thought I was the gift. You hear me?
Okay.
I thought I was a gift. My mama didn't teach me how to cook. I just was like, I can't cook, but I can make reservations. During the pandemic is when I found you. But I've always given relationship advice. In fact, I've always been able to tell everybody else how to do it, but didn't always accomplish it myself. And during the pandemic, it was like God made me look in a mirror. And I was like, man, I don't want to be single forever. Even going into my 50s, I was like, man, I'm single. Like, I got books, I got businesses, but I ain't got no man. That Birkin bag ain't gonna keep you warm, Kim. And man, I started getting on my knees and asking God to show me. And so I want you to talk to us today about, I got so many questions. I mean, questions like, how do you know that they're the one? Let's start there.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you flow.
Let me flow.
Yeah.
Let me flow. Because you flow too.
Yeah.
First, I want to say, before I answer your question, I want to say you did the right thing. You did what we call the mirror work. Come on. And a lot of times when people are unwilling to look at themselves, because what we see in ourselves, it's ugly. Yeah. Sometimes it's not pretty. It's not attractive. We can get dolled up. We can get nice, smell good. But the ugly stuff, it stinks. Yeah. The way we act, the way we communicate, the things we feel, the things we think, our energy is not good. And until we say, I am ready to become a better version of me. Yeah. Then I set the stage to begin manifesting the things that I want in my life. Yeah. So your first question is, now I want you to go back and ask, because I'm going to use that as a transition. Okay. So for me, I had to stop and say, I've got these divorces under my belt. The only one that nobody in my family's ever been divorced. I had to get to a place where I was not mad and pointing fingers. Right. And I had to realize 3 more would point back at me. My question to you is, now that, of course, I've got me a sweet man that I've been dating for 7 months, completely different than anything I've dated, but because I'm different. My question to you is, that person that is maybe 48, 50, 40, having to start all over again after 18 years. Okay. How do you put yourself back out there so that you don't attract what you've always attracted? That's a great question. So I want to bring you to an example. Okay. There's a 62-year-old woman that was one of my students. Okay. She came to me thinking, like many of you might be thinking, it's over for me. I'm not going to find anybody else. Had a divorce. And the first thing I told her was this. I said, let's reprogram and recondition your subconscious mind. You see, your subconscious mind is where all of our thoughts, our memories, our beliefs are held. And subconsciously, you believe it's over. Yeah. And I said, so we worked together for 6 months. And I said, once we begin working on your thoughts, your beliefs, and reconditioning them, reprogramming them, then she believed that I could have it. All of a sudden, which raised her vibration. Now, she's in an amazing relationship. And she said to me, I cannot believe, Coach, but I did one thing that you told me to do. Trust the process. Yes. See, I didn't want to do it. I've been doing things. She was like, look, I'm used to making things happen in my career. I got money. I got all of those things, but I didn't have, much like what you were saying.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, then you have a belief about money, men, about yourself.
Yeah.
I said, let's get deep. And let's find out what those beliefs are and what we say. Because each one of us has what we call limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
These limiting beliefs are beliefs that are in our subconscious that keep us from attracting or manifesting the things that we want.
Yeah.
But you have to realize it's there. Number one, be conscious of it. Number two, understand how to interrupt the pattern.
Man.
We call it interrupting the pattern. And then how do you establish a new belief?
Man.
All of that is a process, but people are willing to invest in Birkin bags and all of that, but they won't invest in themselves to reprogram this.
Yeah.
And now that she's in a relationship, she's one of my advocates. I got thousands of them. And she's like, Coach, I would never have believed it a year ago.
Because society brainwashes us.
True.
Instagram, TikTok. We just look at these people that put up their highlight reels, and it just makes us that have tried and failed a few times, man, you almost feel like there's no hope. And so that's the key.
It does.
You got to reprogram.
You got to reprogram. And here's the other thing. Stop. I tell people, now listen, I don't want to talk to them. Stop listening to people who don't want what you want. Stop listening to people because there are prognosticators, influencers out there who build a whole platform on dividing couples, dividing people.
I can't even imagine that.
But they do it all day.
Man.
I study them. You know why? Because I'm like the anti to whatever they're doing, because I'm the kind of person that says I still believe in love. Number one, and not only do I put relationships together, I keep them together.
Yeah.
Save 298 marriages. I understand what it takes. And so part of it is, y'all, is understanding, I don't care what type of relationship you've been in, the other person was never all at fault.
Ever.
That
was the greatest gift I gave myself.
Because a lot of people don't accept it. How did you get to the point, Kim, that you accepted that, the other person wasn't all at fault?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to get to that place.
Man, I think for me, Ken, it was just, I looked at my pattern. I looked at, I have no problem getting a man.
Right.
It was keeping them.
Okay.
And so I had to ask myself, why am I in this place? And most of the women that are following me, they're millionaires.
Right.
They are boss chicks.
Right.
But they're all single. Right. A lot of them are single. I mean, gorgeous. And I was looking at all that. Like, what's going on here? Because God did not create you to get all that money and have to travel by yourself. All of us women want a man.
Right.
That protector. And so for me, I had to realize, I started taking inventory. Like, I don't want that kind of relationship. Right. I want somebody that I can honor and respect. And it starts with me on the inside.
Yeah.
Because we as women have the gift to pull the best out in a man.
Right. They do. You can.
I know it.
I always tell people, listen, my wife, I could not do what I do without her.
Come on.
Because she knows her. And first off, let me give you something I want you to think about. Men, how men think. Men don't commit to women based on what they do for them.
Come on.
Okay? That's a mistake. Because women think, okay, if I give him enough sex, if I take care of his kids, if I cook good, they think if they do enough. Men don't commit to women based on what they do for them. Men commit to women based on who they are to them.
How they make them feel.
How you nurture them, how you bring out the best in them, how you make me want to be a better man. I always tell people, my wife made me want to be better. Not that she forced me to be better, she made me want to be better. Yeah. And then you asked me a question, how do I know that that's the one?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Because I hear that all the time.
Here's how you know.
How do I know it's the one?
Anybody that compels you to want to be better, a better version of yourself, okay, in every area of your life, that is the one.
Come on.
It is that simple.
And I'm here to prove.
It is.
I am proof.
Simple.
Like I walked around with the mohawk for 25 years.
Did you?
Yes, I had a mohawk. Even on my newest book, I got the mohawk, and that was just 2 months ago.
I remember.
Yes.
That's how I knew you.
On Preachers of Atlanta, I had the mohawk.
Yes.
And when I met this gentleman that came in my life 7 months ago, he brings out the feminine. Like he brought the soft girl air out in me.
Yes.
I wanted to serve him. Like he loved me so well. And he said to me, somebody asked him, they said, well, who is this girl? Who's Real Talk Kim to you? He said, my peace, my everything. I was like, because I worked on that, Ken. I prayed for myself.
Say it again.
I worked on that.
You said I worked. So what a lot of people do is say, I prayed and, I told God and I just can't. I don't know God answered my prayer. And then God say, he sent a Coach Ken. This is what I tell my people. When he sent a Coach Ken, right? You say, I prayed for the person. But he sent a Coach Ken that says, you got to do some work. You got to work on your communication style. You got to work on your attachment style. You got to work on your love language. You got to work on understanding how to handle conflict resolution. But you don't want to do any of that. Come on. And then when God said, look, you said what you wanted. You want the relationship. And I sent somebody that can help you get it.
Come on, man.
But you're unwilling to do that. And some of us are unwilling. We are really, men and women, are unwilling to do that. Because you think about it like this. There are good men out there. There are good women out there.
Yeah.
They are both. All right. The problem is if my mindset isn't changed.
Yeah.
I view the world from a lens of pain. When you view the world from the lens of pain, then all you see is pain.
Yeah.
All you feel is pain.
I always say you bleed on people that didn't cut you.
I heard that one day. Man. I was like that, but that's it.
That's what we do.
And so when I view it from the lens of pain, what happens? That's what I see.
Yeah.
And so to change something different, I have to change the lens.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need help to change the lens.
Yeah. You do workshops, right?
All the time.
You do workshops. And y'all, when he said a while ago, how many marriages you saved? 200?
298.
Man, I love that.
298.
And so even for that couple out there right now that feels like, man, they're at each other now. Maybe they've put their kids before themselves for so long.
Yeah.
And they're sitting here like...
marriage fatigue.
Yeah. They don't even like each other anymore.
They don't even like, they're distracted. They're distracted.
There's still hope for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a couple. Okay. I would never say their names. And they could be listening. They came to me. And when they came to me 6 months ago, if you had looked at their situation, there was some infidelity, some other stuff. We just doing life. And I realized how they got here. Because we are unintentional people say I'm intentional about dating, but they're unintentional about the relationship.
Yeah.
They're intentional about dating. That's what they say.
Yeah.
But they're not intentional about keeping it together. So scientists say we evolve every 7 years, right? We actually, and as you get older, you evolve, the time gets shorter.
Yeah.
Right? But that evolution time, we're either evolving apart together or we're evolving parallel. And so what happens is I can always tell when they're beginning evolving away from each other.
Yeah.
And so this couple, they came to me, and if you looked at it, you're like, I headed for divorce court. But they wanted to try one last ditch thing.
Which is beautiful.
Let me tell you something. They're at a place right now. They said, can we stay with you? I was like, okay, hold on, y'all. There are other people.
Let them stay with you, Ken.
No, my clients I will never leave them once you become my personal client. Good. You can always call me. You can always get me. And I said, one of the wife said, you know what, Coach? I didn't think this was possible.
Yeah.
I didn't think we could start loving again.
Man.
I said, you see, the thing is this, what you feel, the love you feel, like that's just hormone rush.
Yeah.
That's the oxytocin, the dopamine, the serotonin, all of that, what you feel.
Yeah.
But the commitment part of that I brought you back to that. And what you feel, you've attached those emotions to that commitment.
Yeah.
And now it's like that again.
Ken, what would you say to that person that they're fighting through fidelity? And what do you say to that person that is trying so hard to forgive, but they live tortured every day that he's going to do it again or she's going to do it again? How do you get past that?
So there's this thing I created called Trust Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay? So just like you're a guy, handsome guy.
Yeah.
So when you met him, you guys started the journey up Trust Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay?
I like that.
And so Trust Mountain, you go up the first couple of rungs and he did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, so He got a little higher on the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay. He came to my rescue. I needed this.
Yeah.
Higher on the mountain. Okay. We've been together 20 years. So if I've allowed you to go way up Trust Mountain, did I find out that you cheated? Okay.
Yeah.
Took us a while to get there. Now you fell all the way down off the mountain, right? So the question is, how do I get back?
Yeah.
You get back the same way you got there. A little bit at a time.
Come on.
A little bit at a time. You can never go from the bottom to back where you were.
Yeah, you got to climb back up.
You have to climb back up.
Yeah.
It's harder the second go round.
Yeah.
Because the terrain is different to navigate. Now you're navigating betrayal. Now you're navigating rejection. Now you're navigating, my desire to be with you is different now. Because we're older now.
Yeah.
All of the things that you take into consideration. So now the climb up the mountain is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so when I come in, I help you climb up the mountain where you are today.
Yeah.
Not where you were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's how we're able to get there.
Yeah. I have a friend that went through a divorce and it's been like 20 years and she still can't get over it.
Yeah. And she may never.
Wow.
Because, okay, so here's why.
But that sucks, Ken.
But wait a minute. Let me tell you why though. The why is what I'm going to do is it's kind of like when my mother passed. My mother was a tongue speaking, Kojic, Southern woman who loved everybody. So I always believed that she would get healed.
Yeah.
She had a stroke, an aneurysm, but she didn't get healed in this life. But my journey, because I was mad at God, right?
Yeah.
But
I was too when my dad died.
Yeah, right. So I know I wasn't the only one. But one time I was praying, I was like, I don't want to pray, I don't want to do all this. And then it came to me that your job, his job is not to change it. My job is to be able to accept it.
Man.
Acceptance. Like people say I need closure. We don't need closure.
Come on, talk about
we
that.
We need acceptance.
Yeah.
And getting to
accept the reality, right?
Acceptance that it happened, but that I can build from here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this, how the brain works. One of the things, the reason I'm so effective is because I teach you how your brain works. And I use that to help change. So the brain works like this. It wants to open a loop, close a loop. That's how the brain works.
Okay.
Like for instance, if somebody says, you ever watch the news and they say, hey, somebody gets shot at on Campbellton Road, 3 people get shot, tune in at 11. Well, in your mind, they open the loop. And you're like, tell me. So you tune in to close the loop. You ever been around somebody who says, I got something to tell you, Kim, but I ain't gonna tell you right now.
I hate that.
Yeah, right. Because
I had somebody do that to me yesterday. I was on the treadmill. They were like, call me later. I was like, why? Call me later. I was like, you ain't gonna do this to me.
Right.
Tell me now. Don't leave me hanging.
Because your brain wants to close the loop.
Oh my God.
That's why. And so that's why you search for the answer.
Yeah.
So when infidelity happens, the brain, a loop was open. It's trying to close it.
That's why you want to go through their phones.
Trying to close it. That's why you're trying to figure out everything. But the brain can't close it. So there's a thing, what the brain does, it's looking for mental stimuli to close the loop. Man. When the brain doesn't get it, what it does, it creates it. Case in point.
That's like building a scenario that ain't even there.
That's what it does. So you go to the doctor says, hey, we take this test. Watch this. We got this tough test that we're going to take. We're going to give you the results on Friday. At 3:00, we're going to call you on Friday. Okay? By Friday, you haven't heard from them. 1:00, I don't hear from them. 2:00. What is your brain doing by 3:00?
I'm dead.
You're dead. I
I'm
got cancer. I got all of these things. So the brain when the brain doesn't get the feedback, it creates it.
That's where the enemy gets in.
And that's where the enemy gets in.
Because then he starts making you don't trust him. He's cheating on you. He's this, he's that. And you're building this whole scenario and he ain't doing that. And he's up there just having a cheeseburger.
That's exactly what happens. And so what I teach people is how to close the loop. How do we close the loop? And so because a lot of this, y'all, we can pray, but God has given us the tools. Look, if the coach knows how to do it, go to him.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just me,
But
anybody.
I really don't believe that you can, walking through infidelity or walking through empty nest syndrome,
right,
where you put your kids first forever.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're empty and you're looking at each other like, who are you?
Right.
Right? I believe that you need people that can have a non-partial moment where can just say, let me hear you, let me hear you. I think therapy and counseling is important because of this.
It is.
Because we will, especially women.
I'm into.
Really?
Yes. Let me tell you why. Okay. I don't know how much time we got, but I got to tell you this.
Go ahead.
So I want you to think about something. And when I did this, I did a live on this one day, and I said, women tell me I want a man that just communicates. You ever heard that? You ever heard that?
Yes, every day.
Yeah, every day. So watch this. Watch this. And I said, if I told you that we have conditioned men not to communicate.
Come on, Ken.
Okay, let me prove it to you.
Talk about it.
Okay. So when you've got boys, I know that, right? Because I've seen that.
Yeah.
So when a boy is young, from the age of the third trimester in his mother's stomach till 7 years old, the young man or woman does not have a subconscious mind. It's being formed at that time. All right. But during that time, what do we tell young boys? If he gets hurt, suck it up. Hold on, watch this. Don't cry. We tell him, hey, look, don't be no little bee. We tell them, hey, keep your emotions in. Be tough, right?
Yeah.
His subconscious mind is that sharing how I'm feeling is associated with weakness.
Man.
And that little boy that's 7 years old grows up to be a 25-year-old man, then a 35-year-old man. And he's never been taught how to be emotionally intelligent. He's never been taught how to share his emotions. And then he meets Kim. And then Kim said, you just don't talk. And Kim does not know how to nurture the environment to get him to talk because she gets angry.
Yeah, because I feel neglected.
Right, because you feel neglected.
Yes.
Right. And then he doesn't necessarily know what to do. And then he's like.
And then you got all that tension.
And then what he does is what a man does is either he will argue or go into his cave.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know the in-between because he's never been taught. And so how many times have we told our young boys, suck it up, don't cry.
Yeah.
Don't be no little chump. We have.
Yeah.
And so when I tell women that, a lot of them don't want to hear it, then a lot of them have this epiphany like, oh my God. Then I tell them, okay, now he's there. So how do you nurture the environment for him to want to communicate? That's when I start teaching them what to do.
Yeah. What is it?
I always tell, I'm gonna give you one piece of advice, and we ain't got a whole bunch of time. You know how women say, tell a man, I need you to do this. I need you to open my door. I need you to bring the trash out. I need you to do all these things.
Because social media make us put all these expectations.
I'm like, and you got all these expectations. And then the man says, well, you ain't doing such and such, you ain't doing such and or you say it in a way that makes him not want to do it.
Man, belittle him or talk down.
So this is what I tell the women to do. Everything is communication. I got to tell you about this AI product that I developed over 8 months on how to communicate.
Okay,
communication
good.
So check this out. I said, instead of telling him what you want, tell him what you like. Oof. I love it when a man takes out the trash.
Yeah.
He heard that. You didn't say, I need you to take out my trash. I love when a man takes out my trash. I love when a man opens my door. I love it. What I'm doing is telling you the things that make me happy. Because what does a man want to do? Make you happy.
Yeah. He wants to be the lion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you just told him, you've given him a recipe on how to make me happy.
Yeah.
All right. And then when he does it, just you make sure you pour it on. Baby, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you
on.
taking, you know why? Because I'm not saying men are dogs. I'm talking about my dog. Like my dog, when he does something good, when I'm just using my dog as an example, because when he uses the bathroom and comes right in, I always say, good boy, good boy. Now, I notice when I say good boy, when he's out there, he runs because he wants the validation.
Yeah.
The number one need of every human being is the need for significance.
Man.
And many people, we would do positive things to get it. We will do negative things to get it.
Yeah.
But that need has to be met.
Yeah.
And when you don't get it, you will do negative things to get it.
Yeah.
But you can get it in a positive way.
Man, I discovered that in my life, just growing, especially in my 50s now. Like, I realized that a man he will open up to you when he knows he's safe.
When he knows he's safe.
And ladies, I mean, even if you don't take the trash out, if you go in there on a Tuesday and he ain't taking that trash out, you look at him and say, baby, you the sexiest trash can taker out I ever seen in my life. That man will go run and take that trash out. You know what I've discovered even an alpha female.
Yes.
Man, she will be like, what you want? Brownies at midnight? I'll get up make you. When a relationship is healthy.
Yes.
And it's possible, even for us that have never experienced it.
Yes.
It is never too late
Never.
For you to be like,
it is never too late. That's the part
I'm gonna be weak instead of strong.
Now, look, Kim, you're super successful. You're doing God's work. And a lot of people, and let me tell you what a lot of people do. And a lot of people don't like to hear this, but they hide behind God.
Yes.
They hide behind God. You know, I'm doing God's work. I got to go pray. I'm doing this. But what they're doing is getting distracted.
Yeah.
God ain't said all that.
Yeah.
He told us what he wants us to do, right? He told us but you know, think about it. The reason why of them all, love is the greatest of them all. God believes in love.
Yeah.
You know, he believes in it. And so the enemy wants us to be distracted. The enemy doesn't want us to have true connection, true relationship that is not based on self-centeredness.
And his desire was relationship for us.
Of course.
One will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000. Can you imagine what we can do if we'd fight holding hands instead of fighting each other?
I imagine what I do with one wife that encourages me, go help people.
Man, you know what I love, Ken? You said a while ago that you asked your wife why.
Oh yeah. So this is how we wrote this book. Okay. I brought this for you.
So excited.
My wife told me to make sure you have it.
I'm so excited. Look
it's
at this,
called The Canyon Culture, Creating Relationships That Last.
I
so
love
before
it.
we wrote that book, right?
She's a cutie, Karen.
She's beautiful, ain't she?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I asked my wife, why did you stay with me during COVID? I said, why do you stay with me? And she's like, because I love you. I said, and then I thought about it, I was like, no, that ain't it. Because we were in a business meeting, my business partner, right? And I said, it can't be it, honey. We have over a 50% divorce rate. Do you think everybody that got married said they got married because they loved them, most of them? And I said, love, it's not enough. And I said, go deeper. And then she sat there, you know, with that look that she always gives me when I'm like, because, you know, I'm a thinker. And then she said, okay, I love you because you let me be me.
Man.
Then she said, I love you because we can laugh. I love you because we operate our home like a business. And she began saying stuff. Man. And then I said, what we've done in our relationship is we've created a culture.
Yeah.
Everything you've said, because think about the great companies like Google, all these companies, people, they have YouTube, where they have a culture, people want to stay. All right, whenever you create a culture in your relationship, no one wants to leave.
No.
That's the difference.
Man, how do they build a culture?
And so one of the ways you build
Besides
the culture.
reading your book.
No, I'm going to tell you. Besides reading your book.
He's teaching you how to build a culture. I mean, listen, when God was doing a work in me, I got books.
Of course.
I was in seminars. I was getting a mentor. Like you got to read.
You got
people that have experienced it and are successful at it.
Right. First things first.
Yeah.
I always say, let's start with an inventory of why, our why. Why are we together?
Yeah.
Why do I love you?
Yeah.
Let's start with why. And so we have this form and we help people determine what their why is.
Yeah.
Am I just with you because we good in bed? Mm-hmm. Am I just with you because you can take care of the kids? Because that's what happens to people later on.
Yeah.
I'm just with you because we got a property together or two properties together. Yeah. And when that why, I always say if the why is big enough, the how becomes irrelevant.
Man.
If our why to be together, to stay together is big enough, the how becomes irrelevant. We'll figure out the how. We'll get somebody to help us. And then what I tell people is you have to establish what your core values are. So because this is the biggest misnomer.
Those core values are huge.
Biggest misnomer in the world. People think that opposites attract. Listen, that is not true.
I agree.
It is not true. I'm going to tell you why. Do you hang around people who think the exact opposite of you?
No. I would get on their nerves.
No. You know what? What we misconstrue is personality types.
Yeah.
Because my wife is more subdued than me.
Yeah.
They think we're different. But our personality is different, but our core values are the same. They're the same. We believe in family. We believe in creating, not overspending. We believe in letting the other person be. We have more alike than that are different.
Yeah.
We misconstrue when your personalities are different, but it's the core values that make you. If your core values are in alignment and they're similar, then you can walk together.
Ken, what would you say to that woman that is wanting her husband to lead, but he's not?
This is sticky. Did y'all like me up to now?
We liked you, but you got to be honest.
Okay,
I want him to lead, but he won't.
Okay. So Many women I coach are super successful. Okay? There are two different things going on here. You have the masculine energy, feminine energy. People talk about it, but they don't know what it is. Every human being has masculine and feminine energy. And let me break it down in simplistic terms. Masculine energy is the energy of doing. Creating deadlines, doing a podcast, go get the bag. Masculine energy, deadlines, ambition, driven, the energy of doing, okay? Feminine energy is the energy of being. I'm a nurturer. Man. I'm an empowerer. I'm creative. I'm going with the flow. I'm making things. So it's about emotional connection, okay? Different. Men and women have both, right?
That's what I was fixing to say.
We have both.
A healthy relationship has both.
A healthy relationship has both.
In each other.
Okay. Yes. Here's the problem. Want to know where the problem comes in?
Good.
Problem comes in when many women have used that masculine energy because we're in a masculine grid, the business realm, and they're super successful at it. The problem is that when they come home, they don't know how to balance it.
That was my problem.
They don't know how to balance it. So the same energy that made them successful, now they bring home. Now watch what happens. You bring home to another masculine energy, right?
Especially if you got alpha.
Right. And you're telling him what you want to do because that's what you've been doing all day, right? And so whenever a man, masculine energy, many times, sees masculine energy in his woman, he doesn't know what to do with it. So here's what he does. He either, when another man sees masculine energy in another man, we know what to do. We either confront it, men know what to do, or the risk is too much, I'm gonna flee from it. But when it's coming out of his woman, he didn't know what to do with it. He's like, do I argue? Because some men argue just like they would, or do I say nothing and go to my cave? Now I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
See what happens?
Yeah.
Either way, the communication doesn't flow and move forward.
Yeah. Man.
That's what happens.
And women, especially if you are a boss chick.
Right.
You got to pay attention.
Pay attention. Just like they want men to pay attention. And so I'm going to give you some. I'm about to give you some. I'm about to give you some. Listen, you want him to lead. But once you take the leadership role, he can never take it from you. You have to give it to him.
Come on, man.
See, the man can never, once you decide I'm going to lead in this relationship, he can never take it from you. You have to relinquish it.
But how do you do that when you're afraid? How do you do that when he hasn't done it? He hasn't done it because we won't let him. But how do you...
Notice the quandary you're in?
Yeah.
He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it because I won't let him. Notice the quandary you're in.
Oh, I can imagine the comments on this right here.
Oh, yeah. Now, but there is a way. There is a way.
Yeah.
So what you do, and I teach people this, what you do is just like, you know, you have a baby or a child or something. You want to teach them a new skill, right? You want them to do something, right? Well, then what you do is you take something small, intentional, something small, and you let him lead the process and you act the support role, but you cannot take it over no matter what it is.
Golly.
That's why I say let it be small. It's going to test you and him.
So what would be small?
Okay.
Give us an example.
Hey, curious like,
because I know the women on here.
So, for instance, let's say, okay, because you got to think.
Yo, I'm putting him on the spot, man.
No, I know how to do this.
I know you do.
The thing is, he's been conditioned to take the back role, support role. Because you've been conditioned and conditioning him and the family or whoever that I'm going to lead this, right? Yeah. So that we have all settled into our roles.
Yeah.
Okay? First thing, it starts with communication.
Yeah. Okay.
How you're feeling, why you're feeling.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to say it. They don't want to do the communication part of it.
Yeah.
They just want to start doing the thing part of it.
Yeah.
All right? It starts with communication and what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. The reason why it starts there is because in your mind, Kim, what I have to do is introduce a new thought.
Okay.
For you to ever adopt a new thought, someone has to introduce the thought to you. So what I'm doing by the communication, I'm introducing the thought to your mind, your subconscious mind. And so if I don't ever introduce the thought of, I'm wanting a different thing, I'm wanting us to do a different thing, it was never introduced to him. So you doing the new thing, whatever you're doing, it makes no sense.
So good.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So it's really just basically saying, I'm just going to trust you, support you, but I'm not going to demasculate you, and I'm not going to try to step in and do it my way.
But here's the kicker: why Coach Ken is the best in the business.
Come on, Ken.
Is when you start feeling anxious.
Yeah.
You tell him.
Yeah.
Honey.
And really, the delivery is everything.
The delivery is everything. Oh, that's why I can't wait to tell you about what I created, because I knew I've been working on this 8 months.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm going to give this to a break and then we're going to come back.
I'll give it to them.
Let's make them come back. Let's keep them on suspense.
Yeah, let's give them.
Y'all, we are sending this to a break. This is so good. And we just, listen, we got a whole nother episode. So stay tuned. Go potty. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I know you have been on suspense. I love relationship talk all day long, every day, because I can tell you how to run them off and I can tell you how to keep them. And so whenever I love being able to talk to you, Coach Ken, because you are so good about not just being on one side.
No.
And so it's because you have made, you've written books,
right,
and you've been working on something for 8 months.
Yes.
What is it?
Okay.
Tell.
So, all of the people, I've coached thousands of people, right? And the one thing that I realized, people say, I've read the studies about why relationships go bad, infidelity. I'm on a show that catches people doing that. And then they say finances and all of that. But no matter what study I read, communication is all in top 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe that you could prevent the infidelity if you start communicating differently.
Yeah.
And the financial problems.
Yeah.
So what I did was, and I realized all the people I've coached, 98% of the people, 98.3% of people are poor communicators. You want me to show you? You think you're a good communicator? Because now you can deliver the word.
Listen.
You be out there.
No.
Giving it to them.
Look, I've been stretched these last 7 months, okay? Ask me.
Okay. Have you ever not said something because either you didn't know how to say it or you didn't say it because you didn't know how the person was going to react
Absolutely.
to it? So I always tell people then you need improvement in communication.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to call you a poor communicator, but my clients, I would call them that.
Well, obviously I'm a poor communicator. I've been divorced, okay?
But so I said, either you don't know how to say it, or you're unwilling to say it.
Or you're afraid that they're going to react a certain way and you don't want to go there.
Because you don't know how to say it. Because you don't know how to say it. And so what I did was, 8 months ago, when this AI came out, what I did was I hired a developer.
Okay.
2 developers.
Okay.
I wanted to take Coach Ken's knowledge, put it in a platform. How would I respond? How would I teach people to communicate? Let's say you wanted to say something to your guy, but you ain't sure how to say it. So all you got to do is type it in to... It's about either communication during dating or relationships. Okay. It could be, you say, okay, I want to learn, I want to convey this thought to him. So you type in what it is you want to convey, and my mind going to print it out to you.
What?
Show you what to say, tell you what to say. That's why I call it Just Say It.
And it's out?
It's going to be launched next month.
Oh.
Next week.
Oh my goodness! So it'll be out.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, it'll be out.
Yes. So where do they go to get that?
Just say it. JustSayIt.ai.
JustSayIt.ai.
Yeah.
You ain't scared that somebody gonna do it and they gonna end up divorced and they gonna be like, Coach Ken, it's your fault.
No, but because I've programmed it to say things in a way that are not offensive.
Yeah, that's what I love about you. You're not like take it or leave it. You're so gentle.
No, it's all the way. Everything I programmed is I want to communicate in a more effective way that is not offensive to the other person, that does not alienate them. So my program cannot say anything negative. It can't.
Yeah.
I didn't program it that way.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so you also have some cards sitting here.
Oh, yeah. These right here.
These look like so much fun.
So let me tell you what happened with these. So it's called the Moment of Truth relationship card game.
Okay.
And this is the Moment of Truth sex version. So my wife and I
got to get married for this.
So my wife and I, so let me tell you why I created it though. It was never just to entertain people. So what we did was, me and my wife, I started on social media. I had been coaching a long time. My wife, let's do a video. What? I don't want to get on. So why? She was like, let's do it. And she turned the camera on in our bed. We were in the bed. So my wife is a comedian. She is so funny. She's a Christian comedian. And what she does is...
I got to go follow her.
Yeah. And the thing is, she's traveling all over the country and she don't even know how to do comedy on social media.
Why?
I've been trying to get on social media.
Karen, do better.
Do better. Listen.
We want you to do it.
And then she got me on social media. So one night we did a pillow talk.
Okay.
Stuff we talk about.
Okay.
Like, the size really matter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, and
does
so she knows. Does
it? No, go ahead.
That's the next episode. So look, so we would talk about everything. And then I said, you know what? She said, why don't you you're always asking these questions. Why don't you just create a game?
Because a lot of times people don't know how to get this stuff going. And
you know what? In 2 months, I had the game.
No.
That we sold thousands of copies.
What?
And we didn't even have a following. We had people, our videos started taking off. And what happened was, these are the questions, and I did it because I said people could get to know other people without being so serious.
Yeah.
And so you could ask questions. I want to know what you believe about sex and parents and stuff.
So, so it doesn't look like I'm asking, it's the card game.
The card game is asking. The card game is asking.
Now, see, I love this because this is the last episode of December. So we're walking into January, which is 2024.
Okay.
And basically, y'all need to get these game cards.
Yeah,
like,
get these.
This right here is it's going to freshen it up.
It is.
How would a woman get her alpha husband to play these games?
Okay.
Put a teddy on?
No, because remember, all about communication. All about communication. If you talk to the alpha man, just like if you talk to the alpha woman and say, hey, you know what? I want to grow. I want us to get more reconnected. Whenever somebody who loves you tells you that, but I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, I'm coming from an energy that is peaceful.
Yeah.
That person may not do it at first.
Yeah.
But then you come back to them.
Yeah.
This is called neuroassociative conditioning.
Yeah.
Whenever I can condition you to a new thought, a new way of doing things, the subconscious mind is a habitual mind. Whatever you do repetitively. But some of us, we just do it one time, like it didn't work.
Or we feel rejected when he turns us down or she turns us down.
That's why y'all need a coach.
Gosh, yeah.
That's why you need a coach. Somebody who's going to push you even though you don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I know what's on the other side if you keep doing it.
Yeah.
But you don't have any reference, any frame of reference to believe it'll work.
You know, I speak on relationships all the time, man, because I know just from my own life, you know, this is the first time that I've been in a relationship like this where I was whole walking into it. Like I know how this dude, when he came in my life, he was like, I'm not going to take you to the airport. I'm never going to go shopping with you. That's a girl thing. You got some girlfriends for that.
I ain't going to shopping.
he like a man. You could tell he's like this man. I love the way he made me feel. I loved how he was absolute. Man, now we've been together 7 months. He takes me to the airport. He picks me up.
I got a question for you. How does he handle with you in the public eye?
So with him, it's, you know, because we've been navigating through this. We've been very private with our relationship until probably the last couple of weeks. And I just show glimpses of us, like our 6-month dating anniversary. And I show us working out. And,
you know, I saw y'all at the event.
Well, he's just so different. This guy is, because I attracted what I am and not what I want. I attracted a great man.
I love it.
So for him, I have found, I tell this dude every day, who loves you, baby? Like I go straight up into baby talk with him. Like, I love you. I'm always kissing on him and loving on him. Like I am.
You talking like a baby.
I am the wind in his sail and the president in his fan club.
I love it.
So when we're out in public, he's very protective of me, which I love. I've never had a guy like that.
Wow.
And he honors that atmosphere. He honors that space.
Right.
And so he just protects me. But we got a little sign when it's time for me to go, because I'll sit forever with people. He'll touch my back.
It's time to go.
And the old Kim would have been like, you know, because now I know I let him lead me. And so it's kind of like we've learned.
But you were able to, you had the willingness to relinquish that.
Yes, and I really have.
Yeah.
And it's been a learning process for us, but what I learned was if you love a man right, like you could literally love a man right, And that man, you get whatever you want from him. But you can't fake it.
But no,
it's got to be consistent.
That is so true, though.
And I honor him. You got to honor him. You got to love him.
Is that
and he going to do it back.
Got that card of me? I mean, okay. I digress. I'm sorry.
I love that. So listen, this has been so good. Coach, can you tell us how they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at, I'm on all the social media platforms at Coach Ken, Ken, last name Canion. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Or you can go to CoachKenCanyon.com. And look, if you are interested in this new communication, communication,
start the year off right.
That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Hit me at CoachKenCanyon@gmail.com.
And you can also get books.
You can get the books.
You can get these games.
You get all that stuff.
I'm really excited about these games. Sex edition. I'm gonna get that when I'm married.
These are yours. I mean, you ain't got to open this one till you get married.
Not gonna open it.
But I brought them for you just to inspect.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being with me.
My pleasure.
I'm excited. This was the last podcast of the year, and because man, relationships, we all want them, but we don't know how to keep them a lot of times. So we're gonna walk into this new year celebrating. Man, y'all don't want to miss the first episode. We're gonna come back, but we're gonna talk about does size matter. We're going to talk about all kinds of things, relationships, and all these Christians just turn the TV off, on that. We're going to get into it.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it.
They might listen and turn it down. But they don't listen.
We're going to help you be successful. I love you so much. Thank you for joining in the Real Talk Kim podcast. Subscribe to this channel. Leave us some good reviews. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of you that have supported me this year. I love y'all so much. I'm so thankful for you. I do not take it lightly. Thank you to all my partners. Thank you to all of you that are like, man, you literally are my everything. Y'all share everything. Y'all buy everything. Y'all are always on the prayer calls at 8 a.m. I love you, and I'm excited about walking in 2024 with you, and we're all going to fly. We're going to see God do the Amos 9:13 in our lives, which is, it won't be long now. God's decree said things are about to happen so fast, your head is about to spin. So let's do this. Y'all ready? Bye. Happy New Year. See y'all in 2024.
Yay Networks.